and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Hi, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
And together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion,
I was waiting for the flip. Okay, today, Brad, we're going to talk about some shoulder strengthening exercises. They're called the Thrower's 10. These are exercises that help strengthen the major shoulder muscles that you use with throwing.
Sure.
And but they're also actually very good for any shoulder problem you're having.
Right.
And we're going to kind of start off with the easier ones and go to the hard ones.
Right.
Right.
Just one warning, if any of these create any pain in the shoulder, you're not ready for them, put a hold on that particular exercise and just wait till things get better.
And for all of these, I'm just going to go ahead and have you do 30.
Okay.
30 times.
So you're not going to use a lot of resistance?
Right. Light weights, light resistance, if we use a stretch band or a Thera-tubing. And if you're using little hand weights, you might even start off, if you don't have any, just use the soup can at home.
Sure. Yep. Yeah, because that doesn't take a lot for some of these.
All right, Brad, if you don't mind laying flat on your stomach first with your arm off. This is his involved shoulder that we're trying to strengthen. And the first one we're going to do is going to hang the arm off the edge, and he's going to do what I call it sawing. Yep, just like that. The big thing that you want to avoid here, Brad, is you don't want to make sure you're shrugging your shoulders at all when you're doing this. Yep, if you're weak, then it's too much weight.
So the shoulder stays still, and we just
bring it up.
Elbow up.
You probably just have to bring it up to level. That's all you have to bring it up to.
Okay.
There you go. 30 times.
29, 30.
Nice job. Okay, now we're going to strengthen the lower trapezius. And so what he's doing is going to go thumb up at a 45-degree angle, just like that.
Right. So in other words, this would not be it, or up in front.
We're going to be doing that one yet.
Halfway in between.
Yep.
So with the weight of the soup can, and you don't need a lot of weight for this one, thumb up, but you're going to hold on to it. And actually, this 3-pounder's too much for me, Bob. I would probably need a 1 or a 2-pounder.
Is it really?
Well, to do 30 of them, I'd have a hard time.
There's a color more to your liking.
No, Bob. Why, Bob? Why the comment?
But this shows you, this is strengthening all the muscles around the shoulder blade that play a very large role in the healthiness of your shoulder, especially with throwing.
29.
30. Nice job. Okay, with this one now, the next one, and again, you can take a little rest in between.
Yeah, he will.
He's going to just go straight out this way. Straight abduction. A horizontal abduction, I guess that would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, we're just going to do it like this.
His palms down.
Yeah, so I'm not going to have thumb up like that. It's like this.
Again, a little surprising, isn't it, Brad, how much, how little weight it takes to put these on stress, isn't it?
Well, no, Bob, I'm not getting tired at all. No, 29, 30. No,
okay.
Actually, the 1 or the 2-pound is definitely going to be good for me.
Sure. Okay, so the soup can is probably going to be good, fine. And some people may even start with no weight at all.
Exactly.
They might just start putting the arm out there.
Sure.
So that was number 3. Number 4 is going to be extension, Brad.
Okay.
So, yep, just right up to level. Good. And again, with all these, I don't want you shrugging the shoulder, Brad. Show them the wrong way. That if you're shrugging the shoulder, because sometimes when people are struggling, if they don't have enough strength, they start,
Or
they
using the whole body.
making adjustments so they can do it. 29, 30.
Good counting, Bob.
Okay, Brad, why don't you flip right over onto your back. Now we're going to do the serratus anterior, which is also a muscle around the shoulder, inside the shoulder blade.
Yeah, this is an interesting one.
Yeah, this is interesting. Now, this isn't like a bench press, where you go down like this and up. You keep the arm actually straight, and then you're going to actually lift the arm up towards the ceiling.
But not this.
Right.
You're not rotating your body. You're simply keep your back flat to the table, and you bring up just the shoulder. The scapula is what's moving here. And right there.
Now, this one's not that tough to do, is it, Brad?
No, but you have to think about it because it's not a normal movement you do in everyday life, at least most people.
Now, you can do this somewhat by doing push-ups, too. And even if you're, like Brad was saying, I think if you push way up like this and do a full extension like that.
Bob, this isn't looking good. We can... Yeah, I think, you can do them like this and
right. There you go.
Motion. If I had my sleeveless shirt on so you could see those scapulas moving, it's more
But the elbows stay completely locked.
Yep, that's the key on that one. So, all right, next we're going to go ahead and do seated press-ups, Brad. Now, if you have the equipment, this is a great one to do.
Look at the camera, Bob. They like that.
This is the equipment. But we're going to show you how you do this without it, too. Brad, you can take those, and these are the old-fashioned ones.
Sure.
That they look like Sanders,
Right.
as one of the
Yeah,
staff was saying.
someone with some skill made those out of plywood.
Yeah. So
Probably in their basement or their garage.
what's good about this exercise, Brad, is it takes the humeral head and really sets it down in the socket, which
Right.
is really important with motion and with
Right.
throwing. You really want to make sure that the bone right here is in the socket. And
Right.
this is what this does.
Talking about shoulder stability.
Yep. So what you're going to do is you're going to lift up, 1, 2, and down.
Yep.
Simple as that. 1,
And
2.
We discussed this earlier. You're not going to put them way behind
No,
you.
you want them kind of forward, and you're kind of leaning forward a little bit here even.
Yeah.
I'll show the alternative now. The alternative, you could use a chair.
Yeah, if you don't have these and you don't feel like going out in the garage and making some.
What you can do is just put your hands at the edge of the chair, fingers out like this.
Right.
And you're just going to go ahead and lean up like this.
Yeah.
Count to 2, 1, 2, down. 1, 2, down.
So if you're working on shoulder strength and it's before class, you get to class early and you can pump out about 10 of these before class even starts.
Now this is one, you may not want to do the 30. Maybe you want to do 20.
Yeah,
This is
that's
a
a little
pretty
more
intense
aggressive.
one. This is probably the only one where I'd give you I'll cut you a break.
Sure.
How about that?
See, he's a nice guy.
All right, let's go ahead and do the Thera-Band now, Brad. So we're gonna,
Oh, yeah.
Lonnie may need to back up here. I'm not sure on this one, but we'll first do, we'll go high to low first, okay?
Yep.
So this one, basically, you're gonna start up in this position, thumb up.
Yep.
Hope I'm okay here.
You're fine.
And you're gonna go ahead and down to the hip. Up, down to the hip.
This is one of my pet peeves with Thera-Band when people do this and they let it flop because
Right.
it's doing that. Do we got enough room? Why don't you move over that way a little bit,
I don't know
Bob?
if we do or not.
You good?
Okay, now I got resistance the whole way.
Right, yeah.
This is also called putting the sword away, right?
Putting it away, sure, Bob.
Putting the sword away. All right, good posture.
Yep, yep.
No shrugs with this either.
Right.
Just really good.
Slight bend in the elbow. You don't want to keep a locked elbow on this one.
This is D2 extension, I believe, isn't it? It's a PNF pattern.
Right, PNF.
So,
Yeah.
all right. And Brad, you were going to grab this one right here,
Yep,
right? And
yep.
you're going to be my anchor.
Yep, I'm going to help Bob out because we don't have an anchor from the floor, so I'm the anchor.
So a lot of these you can anchor into a doorway.
Sure.
There's devices, or otherwise you're just going to have to get someone to help you out. So,
Or get your drill out and put a bolt right into the wall and put one of these carabiners. That's what I'm going to do.
all right. So now we're starting down here, and we're coming up and pulling up this way.
Right.
Am I doing it right?
Yep, I think you're doing it right, Bob. You're going thumb up, and you can think about bringing it right up to your ears, what we were told in school, but you don't have to go that close to you're going in that direction. And again, look how Bob keeps his body still. He's not twisting his hips and trying to use the whole trunk on this. We're trying to focus on shoulder stability and strength. Well,
Brad,
that came out
actually,
pretty good, Bob.
I actually think I'm doing it wrong.
Huh?
We got to start this way.
Well, yeah, I think you can work both ways.
Yeah, you can actually work both ways.
Right.
But this is the one that we want to get.
This one's going
Sorry,
to work.
that was slightly wrong.
That was a
PNF
bonus,
one.
Bob.
That was a bonus. All right.
It really was. Because here you're working the external rotators, which are typically the weak
Right.
ones of the shoulder problem. But there's nothing wrong with doing what he just did either.
Right. No, in fact, that's another PNF pattern.
Right.
It's just,
And we're not going to talk about PNF today, but that's another story.
okay. Now we're going to go ahead and do external rotation. All right, this is one where you can actually see where it comes into the throwing movement.
Exactly. This is as
So-
close to the action as you can get.
Your arm's going to be abducted 90 degrees, a right angle like this. Just imitate this.
So it's a 90 and a 90. It looks like you look like this.
Okay, and you're going to have this. This could be hooked up a little bit lower.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be to the ceiling. This
Right.
could be chest level.
So I'm going I'm going to start down here, Brad, actually, and work external rotation.
And I always, what I do with my patients, I go to their elbow and I say, don't let your elbow move. I put my finger there. And that really forces good mechanics. And you're getting tired, aren't you?
I know you've done this one, Brad, too, where you've put it on a table and have sat down,
Yeah,
haven't you, and gone like that.
right, but we have the wrong angle.
Yeah, the wrong angle for that.
Right.
So,
That you have to have the right height table. I think this is pretty high level.
So-
your shoulder's in good shape when you're doing this.
yeah, and then the other one you're going to do is go ahead and do an internal rotation.
Right.
So the same thing here, you're keeping the same right angles.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go ahead and go like this.
All right. And you can see, and take a step forward, Bob. For the advanced throwers, they might even want to come back a little bit.
Sure, because they are throwing way back like that.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Good.
But again, when you're doing this, your shoulder is healthy. This is high level rehab.
Again, we went from the easiest ones,
Right.
on the mat,
Yeah.
all the way to the most difficult ones.
Exactly.
And yeah, you're right. When you get to this level, you're getting close to actually starting to throw.
Right.
So,
And yeah, exactly.
So-
throw those 100-mile-an-hour fastballs.
or as in my case, maybe 20 to 30.
Right. I'm just lucky if I
with
get
a good
it,
breeze behind me.
get it across the plate. I'm happy.
All right, thanks for watching. We got some videos at the end you should take a look at too.
Yeah, the little boxes. You just click
Yeah.
on them right with the
Yep,
button.
just clicky,
with the
clicky.
mouse. Yep.
No problem.
I can do it.